Hi everyone, this is Angela here with a Let's Play video of the game Aether. I am an undergraduate college student who has been researching the portrayal of mental health in video games for the last few months. I decided to put my knowledge to the test by playing a game I know next to nothing about to record my genuine reactions and analyze how well the game portrays mental health. I invite you to check out my website for more information about the portrayal of mental health in video games at mentalhealthinvideogames.wordpress.com. I'm on the couch today with some close people in my life who are all gamers and are going to be watching me play the game. Without further ado, let's get started.
Hi, I'm Beans.
I'm Cecil.
And Atui, who's the oldest person in the room, and actually played an NES when it was the system, like the original system.
And I am Angela. I am the creator of the website you're probably seeing this on, and the one who's publishing the video.
Are you also the one who's actually playing the game?
I am also the one playing the game.
That's
Thank you, Beans. That is
cool.
in fact useful information. All right, let's start. Let's see what we got. Ooh. A story is told of a boy who was lonesome, who strayed a bit far from his home. Oh, is that like a fly? It's some kind of creature, I think. Ooh. As the daylight grew dimmer, he saw a faint glimmer, lost in the wake of sea foam. Okay, the glimmer, yeah, I see it. For the boy had a feeling that this monster was kneeling to offer his hand to a friend. The boy darted away, but then turned to stay, afraid of the message he'd sent. This is like poetry.
It is, yeah. Like, they've introduced, like, this is going to be about, you know, something like lonely, like you're, it's a sad, but they're using playful, the rhyming makes it playful.
Yes, like very childlike. I mean, the art's also
Childish,
very childish.
it's like a storybook.
Yeah. He lowered his head, and the boy bustled up, looking proud atop his new steed. For the boy had a venture, he was bound for adventure, and this monster had planted the seed. Looking up to the stars, he thought to himself, imagine all of the people up there. Could they all be as lonely, or am I one and only? Would the people on Earth really care? Does that mean he's not on Earth? I wonder.
I think he's talking about like other people on Earth.
Well, that might be it, because that does look like the moon in the distance, not Earth. Alright. So our story unfolds. A boy and his pet, leaving his home without care or regret. Truly a tale that none will forget.
They switched their rhyming scheme
They did.
for the closer.
Alright. Instructions. ASDW, that's pretty normal. Aim. Shoot tongue. Okay. It's like, what am I shooting? Oh yeah, while we're getting through this stuff, why don't we talk a little bit, I know each of the four of us kind of have different playing styles of different video games we like. So just that gives us a little bit different context. So I'm curious. So Beans, what types of games do you usually play?
Do you mean like what platform or
What
like
video
what
games?
styles?
What styles in video games?
That's a good question. The ones that I play the most often, well, they're ones that I can return to, right? But I wouldn't necessarily even call those my favorite games. I play a lot of like games with like Joy-Cons and controllers, console
That's
games.
true.
Those are ones that I've returned to. I used to play a lot of like Minecraft on the console, but the games that I might actually prefer story-wise or like experience-wise are like I watch people play like indie games or horror games or indie horror games.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of the style that I like.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you've played a lot of Splatoon in particular.
Yeah.
Which actually makes you our expert on shooter games.
It does. It's
in this
interesting.
group.
Yeah.
How about you, Cecil? What games do you play?
I play games that aren't fun, primarily. But yeah, I mean, I do a lot of cooperative games, ironically enough. I think it was a pretty good way to stay social during 2020, and then following that period, it's been a nice way to keep in touch with people that I can't necessarily meet in person. So I think you use your tongue with the mouse
Oh, that's cute. When
to
you
swing
jump,
around.
he hugs the creature.
He does. That's adorable. Oh. And then there's a house there. I'm gonna guess that's our house.
I think so. That's where you started from.
What about you, Atui? What type of games do you play?
Adventure, exploration. I mean, going back, like I said, Legend of Zelda on the NES all the way up through Tears of the Kingdom. I like to explore. I like.
So I think if you click, you can.
Nice.
The tongue, yeah.
That's right.
And then like Final Fantasy, I like to go around and kind of see what's there. And even when I play like fighting games, I like the characters that really let you. The fighters that really let you explore. Be creative, not like hone your excellence, but see what you can do.
I think you need.
It's interesting.
I think you need the clouds.
I think I need the clouds too.
Oh. There you go.
Can I
Do you need the
swing?
pulse? Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, but
Okay.
I can't. I can hold on to the clouds. I can't stand on them. Though.
Okay, so you gotta just keep going
Interesting. Can I withdraw the tongue?
up. Reel it in.
That's what I'm wondering. It doesn't look like it. Okay. I'm learning.
Just swing and up.
I think you just need to click on other clouds.
Ooh,
There
there
you
we
go.
go.
Let's see. Oh, so you can pass through them and also stick to
Right.
them. Interesting.
I wonder where I'm going up here though. Ah! My God. So I'm mostly puzzle games, I'd say is my favorite, though I play a lot of games. Actually, I'm the most similar to Matui in games of like adventure games. I think my most recent is the new Hogwarts game. And this game in particular supposedly has some loneliness elements, which we've already seen. We are kind of all on our own.
Yeah, that boy is real.
He's out in space.
He's literally out in space
the
with just his
epitome of
pet.
alone, and like hugging it like a big stuffed animal.
Yes. Which is a good point. And so one of the things I have been researching a lot is what makes good portrayal in mental health of video games, in video games, and what then makes bad. Oh, I'm going around in a circle.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a big planet, I bet.
Now that the green is pointed off to the side, that's another planet, not up, not
I think
north.
you're right. I don't know which one's closest.
I think you go towards the green.
Okay.
They wanted you to go up.
Oh, I'm kind of floating a bit more now. Like, I'm not just falling the way I was before.
Right, because the
Space
gravitational pull will be to whichever planet is closest.
And if you're not close to one,
That would make sense. I like the...
Don't lose your... So you've got moons or satellites.
Satellites
Could
or
be a moon,
something.
could be a... I think that's meant to be a natural satellite, not a human-made thing.
Probably.
Yeah, I think you just need to swing up aggressively.
Just play better.
You can like,
Oh, I see. This is
slingshot.
not confusing to me at all. Don't worry about it. I took physics.
There you go.
I wonder if we're going to
Imagery.
find other people. Like, okay, so this is about loneliness is the theme. I feel like maybe we don't find other people. Oh, the moon is shocked. Woo! Oh,
Gas planet.
Debasa.
Or is it a gas planet, or is it just a thicker atmosphere?
Oh, there is someone. I'm going to blow this place up one day.
Okay, so
Please don't do it while I'm here.
they have some trauma.
Expression of trauma right there.
unfortunate.
Why do you look like me?
Oh, they do look like identical.
So one of the things we talk about, like I was saying, is using gaming mechanics. So having like the game be difficult to get places could have significance. I might be.
Yeah.
I think you
Reaching
need
too
that
far.
cloud up in the
I do
top
too.
corner.
I got it. Thank you, Cecil. Cecil. Keep meaning to say Cecil, which I knew was going to happen. While I'm figuring this out, I do actually have another question for you guys. Which is when I say the words mental health in video games, does like a game come to mind or a type of game come to mind, or have you just never thought about it before? Where you stand on that? Those words.
Someone else go first, please.
We've got plenty of time. I'm stuck here for a
The
while.
first one I thought of is not a game that was popular at all. It was an indie game. It's a little sad, but we're talking about mental health, so
It's gonna happen.
that's how it's kind of to be. So there was an indie game made in the early 2000s where you played through the Columbine high school shooting from the point of view of the shooters. And the person who made the game said that they were not glorifying the shooters. They wanted to help people connect to the idea of, like, let's think about how someone becomes like that. How does that become someone's reality where they think that's the right thing to do? Oh, nice. But that game wasn't popular. I don't, you know, I think, like if I remember right, like, people refused to distribute it. You know, and in 2002, you couldn't, like, publish. I don't know that PSN or, you know, any of the shops would allow it now, or Steam, but
Interesting.
But then it was very hard. But, like, they went after something very direct. Like, here's some people who we know were hurting, real people. Let's try and use the shooter game, which hadn't, you know, there's no Call of Duty yet. No.
I think probably that boy is the key to the puzzle on this planet.
The which one?
The guy you were just connected to.
I agree.
That's just
because he was responding to your.
I'm really hoping we're not going to blow up the planet. That's kind of what I'm thinking we're supposed to do, though. Or save it.
But that guy looked happy.
He did.
The guy up there, so.
Maybe he can, like, suck up the
poison.
The poison. I will just clarify. It is actually when you're in this poisonous atmosphere. I think it is some kind of gas because it is a lot harder to move.
Oh,
like,
it did seem a little heavier.
Like, I'm not actually just struggling. I realized because it got way easier out there, and I was like, oh no, this is actually harder.
But I feel like, sorry, someone else should talk after I'm talking. But
no, you did.
Like, games, you know, have done, like, lonely characters, angry characters, but not gotten into some of the more
there's a cloud covering them now.
Sophisticated or, you know, mental illness.
Right.
Maybe it'd be too hard. Maybe it'd be hard to, like, play as someone with a mental illness, because the player needs to be in control to a point.
They do.
So if you actually did somebody who, you know, had some kind of illness, I'm sure certainly not indie games have probably gotten into that space, but that would be hard to play. Whereas, like, you know, like every other Final Fantasy protagonist, like every other game, they're lonely.
Right.
Know, they're outsiders. There's mental health. Like, how do you feel about yourself in relation to the world around you? Do you feel like you're part of a community, but not somebody who has, like, a mental illness?
Absolutely. And you're speaking to a couple things that I've gotten into. One, that mental health does go beyond mental illness. That's the reason I use the word mental health. So that mental illness is one thing, but also just mental state in general is part of the term mental health. And so, yes, it's any story that brings up one of the I believe it was Spider-Man 2, one of my classmates was talking about how he was recommending me to play it because he was like, Spider-Man's just so lonely and it explores the difficulty of being a superhero, and it's what he thought of. And, like, at first I was like, oh, that doesn't, like, it's such a mainstream game, I wouldn't think. But I think he has a really good point. And so do you, of, like, Atui, that we, that a lot of video games explore what it means to be going through things. Cecil's having a hard time here.
Nice.
He's regretting his choice to be part of this panel. But to answer your other point, Atui, there are a ton of indie video games that have been getting into mental illness more. Some of them have done it well, and some of them, in my opinion, not as well. And they can be really hard to play. One we considered or I considered us playing, it's called JJ... Shoot, I'm forgetting.
Abrams can't end the movie.
You forgot the time that you tried to tell me about.
Did I forget the title?
JJ something. I can
JJ
try to
something.
find it.
I'll find it later. And The Missing is what it's actually called. I reference it a little bit. It follows a girl who is struggling with self-harm. Very difficult issue. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, The Missing, JJ Macfield and the Island of Memories.
I wonder if I go around in a circle.
Maybe you can get him to turn around. Maybe you can, like, turn.
Come on, circle. Come on.
Oh, that's hard.
It's a 2018 game.
Yes, that one's more recent. And it follows a girl, so you, as the player, can control her self-harming in order to solve puzzles, which is really intense.
That's
and one of the things I talked about in one of my articles is that She's actually really great. I don't think I can go around a circle.
Can you shorten it, or do you have to?
I am gonna try to shorten it in a second. She's actually a really great representation because we got that cloud on the left. She then actually takes back her agency towards the end of the game, and you can no longer control that.
The need for mechanics makes it hard to have it be a character's psyche is what's at stake, except for games where you actually play in the psyche.
Yeah.
So like Atlas made
Persona.
Persona 5.
Persona, a great example.
You know, like you actually are, the gameplay is within the psyche, so the obstacles and all of that can be your mental well-being.
Right.
And then it's matched with, you know, when you're in the real world in Persona, you get to see what that looks
What
like.
it truly looks like in people. Yes. Persona is a great example. Such a great example. One of the books that I'm reading for this topic wrote a whole article on it.
Yeah.
So yes, agreed.
Oh, Catherine was the other game I was thinking about. Same studio.
Yes.
About a guy who's like cheating on his girlfriend. It's like a much more adult, like if Persona's, you know, the high school take. Bibulon. Okay, so this guy's like meh.
I want to write these names down because I feel like they're just names, but
One day I'll be
There
great
might be
and show them all. That I think you're right. You were right about that. Everyone's kind of had issues so far.
Yeah, and very specific.
I'll never amount to anything. They all think I'm dumb.
Oh look, it's this two heads of the same
It is
person.
two heads of the same person.
Right.
That's interesting.
So-
This planet is not happy.
Performance-oriented person will either feel great or awful.
Oh, I bet they're critics. Like, this is a performer. And then these are the various. So the first one thinks he's good. Okay, I need to swim a little better. I need to get good. As Cecil would say, just get good.
I want
and
to say
then
that.
yellow.
Would you?
is, I forgot what yellow was already.
Don't worry about it. I don't think it's
swing on
huge.
to it. I don't think you just have to land on them.
What do you think, Cecil? Speaking of you,
What do I think?
about when you hear mental health video games, what do you think of?
I think about games that make
Like-
my mental health.
No, that's good, right? Because you do a
true.
lot of social games.
Yeah.
And so
But yes, I mean, of stuff we played before, I mean, I believe it's, Angela wrote about it. There was similarly a Mori that was created.
Yes, Omori was
Something
actually
around.
recommended by Cecil, which I believe I even might say in my introduction.
you can't grab the moon itself.
Yeah.
No, I just didn't want to do
Oh,
it.
okay.
It's unfortunate. So you think of a game like Omori, I'll never go back home. Huh, maybe not a critic then. I don't know what I think of that. I do think we have to destroy this planet though. I'll never go back home. Are they all...
Oh,
There's
there's
the-
moon.
there's the moon.
I saw, I'm looking for the people now. Oh,
Oh, it's a two-faced planet.
is it?
Yeah.
But the person, oh no, there's the person.
Person's
Yeah, it's a
two faces.
two-faced person.
I'll be great and show them all.
No progress.
Okay.
Yeah, but the
Interesting.
other moon is over there. Ish, yeah.
Here, there it is. Okay.
I'll go home when he leaves.
Is that it?
Denial? I don't know. It feels like.
There's probably a fourth moon.
I hate him. Are they all? They're all saying him, or they're talking about.
There we go.
Okay, the planet changed colors. I'll never amount to anything they all think I've done.
Okay.
Interesting.
One day I'll be great showing them all. So he didn't change, but the planet did. So I'm gonna say that we've solved the planet for now. 'Cause I don't see anything else to do. My feet itch. The next one is
So
here.
landing on this
Ooh.
moon is not sufficient.
My feet itch. So that was probably just that one.
Gravita.
Oh, like gravitas, maybe? Ooh.
Well, I mean, weight. So, weight.
Let me jump in.
Is Gravita.
Yeah.
It's sad to be alone. I agree. Are you alone in here, friend? Can I cut you free? I think I can.
Sound.
I think you have to do it without touching the ground.
Or you're getting higher pitch every swing.
Oh, I'm so close. Yes, I do think you guys are exactly right. I think if I destroy this thing, he gets to die. Or
There
maybe
also, there are
free.
crystals up there, but they may not be important.
Oh, there is a guy up there.
I think it's you. Yep.
Oh, he's happy! Wait, we made
Nice.
him happy! Oh, the little guy says it's sad to be alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the plant.
Now you just gotta get out of here.
I believe in my... I shouldn't speak too soon.
Alright.
Oh, well, that's a depressing thought. I'll be
It's
happy
a deep thought. It's a weighty
when
thought.
I die. Yes, you're right. Oh,
Whoa, Windows key.
didn't press that.
No, no, go, no,
This sad to be alone.
It's sad to be alone.
But yeah, you can just pop out.
So
If
under
you
the
said your
surface.
back, that would be great. Under the surface. Is
Yeah,
it
under the.
game?
Sorry, no. I was saying about this. On the surface, it's I'll be happy when I'm dead. It's okay. And then on the other hand, it's below the surface. I'm sad to be alone. Maybe one of my all-time favorite games about mental health is called Shut In. It's a game about depression where you play as a person who supposedly, most likely presumably, that's the word, has depression. And
Cecil's feeling my pain.
I'm pretty sure almost all of these are horror games.
Okay.
Shut In certainly is a horror game.
Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, so I am going to interrupt you for one quick sec.
Yes.
And shout out my classmate who's specifically talking about horror video games and mental
Uh-huh.
health in horror video games. And movies. No, okay, wait, it's horror movies. Anyways, the point is, horror and mental health actually have a really long-standing connection.
It is
don't understand
fascinating. Yeah.
Alright, it's fine.
Okay.
It's
You're
fine.
okay. You're okay.
I got you. I debated you. I said you'd be okay. You weren't.
I wasn't wrong. I was against you.
Alright.
And it has some really interesting. This is maybe one of the games I would recommend the most about mental health. The main thing, no spoilers, that you notice throughout the game is that it's a spin on an unreliable narrator, where instead you have this like really pessimistic narrator who's very hopeless and I know we're only recording our audio, but
Okay.
everyone is like
We're
swinging
all
their head
swinging
along
our
with
heads.
this sling.
Okay, so we're done here.
And I
We're
think
done
people
here.
need to know that.
Let's move up.
We're just gonna not fall in that hole again. It's our one
That's
goal.
what they all say.
That is what they all say.
Alright. Not
but-
green.
But Shut In, I think is a really good portrayal of what it's like to like be in the head of someone who has depression. Of like, it's not about the outside. It's not always about the outside symptoms. They really nailed like the constantly feeling down on yourself and like you convince yourself that you're just being logical. It's
Right.
like I'm not saying negative self-talk. I'm just saying things about me that are
That
bad.
was the sun.
There was, yeah, I think that was the sun. You're right.
Oh no, it was that.
Or
It was
might have
whatever
been
that
like
thing
that,
was.
like that.
Alright.
This crescent moon. This might be back home. So
Alright.
wherever the first
Well,
one.
we'll know that now. Yeah, I remember passing that.
Oh no.
No, it's a water planet.
Water malaise.
Malasis.
So malaise is a feeling of like
Oh.
of like meh.
Yes, you're right. It is. So is it just explorations of different negative thoughts we can have, like the performance anxiety?
My current theory.
Interesting. It's colorful.
I
All right,
think
Blue Planet was
that
easy.
Was it. You're nothing special.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Alright, Blue Planet was
Trying
quick.
to help you. Okay, next planet.
A game that Beans and I actually did together was American McGee's
that's a great.
Alice, where it takes, so Alice in Wonderland, the original is a dream that Alice is having, the book, and so then American McGee's Alice is a nightmare / she's in a mental institution. But again, I don't think it's saying anything about mental health. I just think it creates an excuse, Earth,
So is this
I
back?
think this is where we started.
But wasn't there
Wait,
a house?
no, this
there
isn't
was a
right.
house
No,
on
you're
Mars.
right.
Earth. So Earth is frowning.
Earth is frowning.
So it creates just a means to do like your weird visuals or your whatever. And I think like Psycho, it just creates, or Split, which has been highly criticized.
Yes.
But in some ways, it's just an excuse to allow the actor to
Oh, no,
do
that is our
24.
Right there.
Oh, okay, so we are from Earth.
So yeah.
So
Okay,
Green
you just
Planet, we
gotta
gotta
go
solve
there.
the
Okay,
Green Planet.
continue.
Yeah, no.
I feel like
But-
I was smiling when we were last here.
He got upset. I'm so sorry. He's upset here. Oh, he did get bigger there. Why'd you get bigger?
And when you like pull,
Is it
pull
because-
on-
was it when
Pull
you-
straight down from him.
If you pull straight down from him.
Oh, small again.
Then he resets. Keep it up. Just like keep agitating him.
I guess just spin around.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
The boss. All right, so we got him.
All right.
So your
now
great
I just
velocity
need to go
theory was
through.
correct. we
Yeah.
just had to do it
From them.
from him.
I think it's spinning around him. So if you,
I think it might be too.
you make it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Round and round we go. Where he pops, no one knows.
And we just gotta find the other one.
What do you guys think so far?
It's pretty neat. I like the part where we're on the green planet. But no, yeah, the Earth
What do
being
you-
smaller is pretty.
What do you think about mental health?
I'm kind of curious to see how it ends. It's more of what it is.
That's fair, and
So,
there'll be an ending. But
The
what do you
planets
think
have
right now?
seemingly represented, basic negative points of view, or just things that could get you down. Like the deep planet, they weren't necessarily negative, but they were. You can be too deep. You can be too inside yourself.
Right.
So it's like different mental states, not necessarily negative, but our person has stayed kind of blank.
Yeah. I wonder. That's what actually I was gonna segue perfectly. I'm wondering if maybe the planets are supposed to represent himself, like what various things he could be thinking about himself. Because the people on the planets aren't being affected
Yeah.
once we win. Like it's not like the people go away. I've noticed,
Right.
but the planet changes. And so I'm wondering if the planet changing has more to do with him than it does.
Right.
Like we're not like going and saving other people like
Right.
many video games.
And one of
where
them
you
was
go
like,
side
"Why do you
quests.
look like me?"
Right.
Which could just be an asset thing, but
It could.
but you wouldn't have the line just for that reason. Like,
Right.
Um,
So maybe it's him
it's all him.
out in space.
They all have like the same face,
Yeah.
even though the monster looks different.
The monster is unique.
So the idea that things represent self-doubt or negative self-talk, I think, is
All right.
is
The big cookie.
something I'm seeing with this.
Okay, Earth.
Okay, so Earth.
Oh, Earth's
Oh.
tiny.
So
We
Earth
destroyed
was
it.
tiny and we broke it.
I think Earth got tinier each time. Can I? Oh, I can't do anything. Okay.
Okay. So we just
What's it gonna do?
in the end game.
Oh.
You're on the moon.
As the void delved in deeper, his imagination went wild. Oh, so maybe none of this was real. And the grasp of reality was left from this child. The impact he caused broke his tie to the earth, but his fears and his worries had caused a rebirth. Being lost in his dream, his imagination expanded, and with the aid of the beast he commanded, this boy would live on in the memories of past, and the boy would find hope in a future he'd cast.
So it was in his head the whole time.
Yeah.
So it would seem. So it was different portions of his psyche that he was interacting with. He was sort of this blank traveler. And so he was too deep, or too inside himself, too performance driven, too down on himself.
Right.
Whatever the water world thing was.
Oh, it was apathy.
Oh yeah, apathy.
Apathy.
And so he slowly conquered those, but then he couldn't return to, when he returned to the grounded world, it was gone. And so he was free to, I'm not sure. I don't know that they landed
Yeah,
their final metaphor.
I mean, it's interesting. Is the planets as shapes were interesting.
They were.
That they were all based around shape-based gimmicks.
Yeah.
Like the planet within a larger core, the planet underwater that had like a little piece of it peeking out above.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting way to think about mental states through like differing pieces.
Oh, interesting. I would not have thought of that. That's a really interesting point.
To me,
Yeah, what's up, Beans?
this feels like it's saying something about escapism. Like,
Interesting.
very strongly, like getting lost in your imagination, and when you come back, you've lost your tie to it.
After our fun and informative time playing Aether together, we came to some interesting conclusions. Aether struggles to land its ending, which confuses the message being sent to players, but it has many elements that are good portrayals of loneliness and anxiety. Aether succeeded in creating an atmosphere of loneliness. Atui particularly mentioned upon reflection that maybe that was what the game developers were aiming for, simply a vibes game, in his own words. This can be seen in the setting, out in space, and the haunting and lonely music that plays throughout. I believe the artistic style also creates an interesting image for gamers. Like we mentioned at the beginning of our playthrough, everything is quite childish, which highlights how this is the exploration of the mind of a child. The poetry is very storybook-like, and so is the artwork. The planets and people introduced each seemed like voices in the mind of someone struggling with doubt and loneliness. For example, the planet Gravita, aptly named for gravitas, a solemn manner, has a character who says, "It's sad to be alone," and another who says, "I'll be happy when I die." These are both solemn thoughts that someone struggling with loneliness may have. However, the ending is quite ambiguous, with the explosion of Earth and the way the boy seems to rejoice in it. Was this a metaphor about a boy falling so deep into his imagination that he loses touch with reality? If so, why are we solving the issues on various planets that pertain to loneliness? The metaphor falls apart here. Overall, the experience of Aether was a positive one and portrayed loneliness in a fascinating and empathetic way. Despite being from 2008, Armor Games did an interesting job with such a short game, and their game is free for download online, so I encourage you to support them by playing it yourself. Thank you for joining us today.